section that overran the military is a section of the Council Rally. Section between our community where he comes
Wilson,
from.
we are live, and some of you, we are live on YouTube and Facebook, so go ahead.
Yeah. That was another mistake did by the defense minister. We should blame the government. The rescue, yes, we know Nasir is difficult to rescue because there is no road, it's a remote area, but rescue should come. When they were in Gilajul, in a Valiant, is a Payamo Valiant, a 3 day on foot with Hammer vehicle they have, they can go to Nasir 1 day and a half or 2 days, leave alone the river. Because in the 3 day on foot, you can go to Nasir. You can't see Jet Gilajul. They should have to go and take a good military for the Baba who lead it, fill out a couple of numbers. They should have to go at night to rescue the general. Utayara Tawali Bukun Jais 1 hour away from Minaira, from Nasir in the Gaba. Tayara helicopter Makanindu Malakapiratu Malakat. They should have to create another location in north of Nasir town where the helicopter can sit down there, and this rescue came and took the guy. They also failed. Rescue also can come from Palo through helicopter.
Right, Wilson, you have gone over your time, but yet
okay.
I may take some questions from you.
All right. For that one, I think I will blame the government. They neglect. There is a negligence toward our army. The people cannot be left like that, because even if they were knowing that there is overrun, the Tayarada can Jabar Lakar that time, they should have to make a decision. They should have to bomb everybody. The fighting is becoming. What next? You know that they're going to kill them. So why we don't bomb the entire city? They have a lot of options. There was another county in the east of Nasir, whom they call friendly county, Maywood. There is an army in Maywood, there is an army in Duko. Why they don't take a boat and come in or work on food? It's another 2 days they can come. Unless because these all Nuer things, and these are militia that I don't know, I have no idea, but there were army there. They should come too. Another army can come through Maban. There is no road, but they can walk on foot. But I think there is a negligence, another negligence somebody mentioned before. The entire vehicles that were in the barrack, a lot of them are not functioning. Mind you, is Berat, they are broken, Mafi, they did not do anything. If they were all fixed, 3 will lead their Jama, they can fight people. The Babada Kois, good condition, they can do good job. With that being said, I think the report is good. The government, they did a good things to let Shabbat and Junub know how many people lose their life. But I am still asked what is the next, because the White Army now, they are still rallying. Even yesterday, they are still making video rallying. Okay, where is the government now? They have Tayarat, and they say they have Dronat. Why they don't identify them and take care of them before they even do something? Because they're doing rallying now around the Nas. The topic was good, and I think my minute, I went over my minute. Thank you.
Before you
2 minutes, I will stop here.
Wilson.
This Nasir thing, people need to work on it. It's not done over yet. We need more.
Wilson, before you conclude, I have that video that the voice record that you mentioned about the late General Major Dak. Let me play, and then you can conclude your speech.
Very good, very good. Yeah, play.
Okay.
Chana bago
That's the one, right?
Atama kudela ta chibaga ye kana ta lot of diesel na one na bia kor kuma mo bia jago kot kamal be beno wane الذي الوقت دي تم
تمام رام روي جي تام كان جنرال ماجور داغن داغن شا سرو
اوكي
I was.
سلامات
Let me translate what he was asking.
Okay, hang on.
خلاص ممكن نتكلم بعربي؟
He was asked.
Okay, go ahead.
Hold on.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Stop it. وصل زول بروتان نوير. كده يا اخوانا البريبريشن كبير تقول ده قال في الزول داري تشيله. الجنرال الكبير ده قال داري يشيله حاجه ده ماشي كيف باسا. المنجر قال حاجه ده ماشي كويس ونادى فانا يا وداد منجر. Now the guy say, oh, it's a منجر هاي. خلاص. He continued playing. Now he's going to sing in Arabic.
Okay.
طوال على طول.
بداية مرحبا بك سعادتك. ممكن توصف لنا وضعك هسه وانت في الناصر؟
انا ما في فوريه، انا في خندق بتاع دابا. لو اتلا الناس الكبار انا كلمت مع سيد النائب الاول رياض وقال له مباراه كان طائرات بتاع يوان لكن ماشي وقف مع البعيد والدنيا بقى أصل. فالطائرات دي ما قدروا عشان هو نقوموا وبعدين واحد عمية وده جاء حولنا ما في طريقة كده عشان ما في ضمانات كده. فالطائرات دي الفات طلعنا في الترنشز في خنادق. فالصباح ده قال لنا بينما انتم برسل لكم تاني الطائرات. بعد شوية قالوا الطائرات ده في السماء وانتم فوق. بعد 10 دقيقة وهو بنزلوا في حامية بتاع ناصر فياو. هسه ده نحن قاعدين في البوابات ناس جا خلاص اننا بننزل نخلي أسئلة ونركب بتاع راعي بتاع يوان والإدارة بتاع ايوه.
ده حقيقة طيارات اللي هم اثنين هم بينزلوا الساعة 11 و45 دقيقة. يعني هسه باقي لك أقل من 10 دقيقة أنت بتشوفهم بينزلوا في الناصر. ده حقيقة. ده حقيقة. يلا أنا دايرك ترسل الصوت بتاعك للناس بتاعنا. تقدر تقول لهم شنو؟ جنوبين.
الجنوبيين يا حبيبي يا نيان ده confusion لأنه حصلت أنا لغاية لقيت الديفندن لقيت في الناصر. طبعا عندنا 10 سنة 8 سنة هذا جيج حتى بريال والمواطنين كذلك كلموا بينما هو القوة ده يغيروها. فأنا كلمتها بينما يا جماعة هو ده يتطول هنا وعنده مصر. فالقيادة العامة هو يعني نظم بينما هو يغير الوضع وخدنا في اعتبار حتى هم احتاج ذاته تظاهروا القيادة في شهر واحد. الحكاية ده حصلت وحكومة بتاع القيادة العامة نظم القوات عشان يجي نظمنا وقوات بتاعنا في ناصر مش عشان نجي نشاكل مع المواطنين. ده حرس الحدود لأنه قاعدين نعمل الحدود جنوب السودان مع سوريا ونهر الصباط. الحكاية دي جاء تغيرت لسياسة كده. يعني نحن كقادة بتاع الجيش we are confused by the way. الأوراس بيعملوا كيف؟ لأنه كنت جاي كان في سوى اتفاق كده بين الجيش والغاية أنه كنت جيت غيرته وهو من الباتان. فإدارة جامني عشان نجي بعدين في القيادة ما بكون في تعليق كتير. يفع جاوتوني بس هجومات. وأنا كلمته أتا كمرد رياض مشار أنا كلمته له أنا قلت يا كمرد رياض الذنب بتاعنا إيه؟ أنهن يعود الناس الدالي غيروها ويجي قوات الجديد ممكن يكون ما سوى الإدارة كده يجي يضربونا. قال لي بينه يا أخي الكلام ده أنت ما عندك يد فوقه. الكلام ده في قيادة العامة وقيادة أيوه قيادة ما تم اتفاقه عشان هو يفهم بعض. بعدين عرفته. فأنا عسى أنا لسه في خندق.
هسه انت جسمك ساعتك جسمك كويس؟ انت كويس؟
أنا مضروب. أنا تعورت بكتفي.
انت مضروب.
أنا مضروب. ناو كان ياو.
خلاص شكرا جزيلا. باقي لك شوية دقائق وإن شاء الله يعني طيارات بينزلوا في ويارة دي وبيجيبوك ملكال بسلامة.
هسه قاعدين نسمع. هسه قاعدين نسمع أصواتنا.
تمام.
قاعدين نلف حول
ربنا يجيبك بسلامة.
الله معنا جنوب السودان ده يكون حر.
آمين. آمين. ربنا
أنا جاي لهم أنا confused.
Yeah, it's okay.
البلد ده بدافع كيف زادوا يسافر لنا.
Yeah, شكرا صاحب. شكرا.
Okay, so that you have it the audio, Wilson. Can you go? Yeah. Can you go? Let me stop that. Yeah, go ahead and repeat what you said earlier before. Is this person voice?
Yeah.
Is it? Do we know?
Let me conclude with a 1 to 2 minutes. This boy, the Swala Lawal Zadu, I am very suspicious about this. You know, Ukanda Yasal Wahid Nasal on the ground. Ugali Akwana to Zol, the so-called, this is used word the so-called Burtania. If you general there for how the preparation is going. The white, I am very suspicious about that. Also, in his position, it's like somebody who is aware with what's going on. Another thing.
Wilson, Zolde Makan Gas, the Yamu telephone general.
Yes, that's another.
Aywa, يتكلم مع زول ثاني.
دور ثاني.
لكن كيف فجأة يعني الرقم كان كلا رقم.
رقم جنرال ذاتي أو ضرب.
أيوة.
لو واحد. إنين قال ده تقول سنو الجنوبي. سؤال ده يا جماعة بس حاله للزول you already survived or you are about to die. Okay. ده يوجب كل كلام الزول الكلام ده. ده كمان I am very suspicious. Nimr Talad, he's protecting court of UN. I don't know his position. Mushakal UN. When he's giving this detail, he's pretend to be a journalist asking somebody. So, White Army is everywhere, including the UN in Malakal. I don't know what the UN do now about this guy, whether the UN is aware, should be fired. I don't know what.
Where is him? Where is him? I want to say,
Wilson, he already ran away from Malakal. He ran away.
Oh, okay.
He will die. He will die this year. We will find him and we will hang him in Juba. So that he's gonna die. Whether he's real or a he will die.
Yeah, let me conclude. So this here my point that I want to say here is another negligence for government of South Sudan. Yajama, the so-called agency in country. I was in Ethiopia working with the UN a little bit in 1994-95. The workers working in UN in Ethiopia are a loyalty, national security of the Ethiopian. Because we know UN is agency of the West. And when you employ an unknown group that can cooperate with people who want to destroy the country, that is the consequence. So all in all, our debt is another negligence with the government of South Sudan. The people working in the whole agency of South Sudan, they are not loyal to the country. They are not even patriot to the country. They are betrayers. Thank you. I will stop here.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Comrade Wilson and Comrade Medit, for the audio. Yeah.
Just 30 seconds. I would like you to say something.
Eraja, exactly. I want to give us a reflection on this. You're my corner commentator. Could you go ahead and take a minute or two? And but then the chief executive of Nyandeng Police Dongjang get yourself ready by the Miko
Hey, amigo is a commentator. I am a chapter now. Created very well. I came with Jimmy and my amigo.
No, you guys are panelists. Somebody got to weigh in the opinion of whether you are telling the truth or not. So that's why I give amigo commentator position here. Sometimes you like to do propaganda. So amigo, go ahead. Yes.
You don't want a commentator from Fort Major Army Base?
Well, you were late, and amigo got the position. So next time.
It's very important. I'm supposed to be one because I am from Fort Major.
Oh, yes, I know that. But amigo got the contract. When the contract expired, so now, the chief commentator from Fort Major Garrison, you will be a panelist. Your opinion will be subject to scrutiny by the chief commentator, Amigo. Amigo, please go ahead, take 1 minute to two. And in the meantime, Dongjang Mike will come to you as soon as Amigo is done. Go ahead, Amigo. What do you think about it?
And also, Amigo, your name, David Amigo Major is watching now. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, well, and also نرحب بمياكم بعدين. Is here. I just want to add for what Brother Wilson has said. You see, the SSPDF believed what Dr. Riek Machar had told them. They believe Dr. Riek Machar is a part of government and he's one of them. All the information that Dr. Riek Machar has said, it for them was an accurate and true. But Dr. Riek Machar was lying as usual, as he do all the time. And even from the video, when you see the general, he was talking very innocently, and he was believing, and even he was confirming what they got from Dr. Riek Machar, all the information they got from Dr. Riek Machar. He was innocently just speaking and trusting what Riek Machar had told them. But unfortunately, Riek is the one who orchestrated all this killing of SSPDF by the White Army there. You see? That's why I said the SSPDF, they should rely on the intelligence, not on Dr. Riek Machar at all. And even there is no something called Dr. Riek Machar anymore. It's done. That's it. That's over. You see?
Okay.
But people have to be,
yes. Also, all these random communications, so like some people just even like the guy that you hear making conversation with the General Major, he was not a military. He was not a member of our intelligence. And there were some other people making phone calls, some folks who were in the trenches, kind of Canadian. What was all this for? Like everybody could just pick up a phone and dial the number of the record that he knows. We are recording, we put it to social media. Do you think this also played a role into how the White Army and the SPLMIO strategize on how to actually carry out their offensive? Amigo.
Yeah, absolutely. Even this phone call is so suspicious, you see, because this guy, he was surprised when he found out this is the general they were looking for to kill us, because that's what they target. They want to kill this guy actually, you see. Even the questions is all suspicious, you see. The general was talking just innocently, but my message to the government and to the chief of the staff. War is war. They don't have to take it easily. And also we need to confirm to the people of South Sudan, this war is not about Nuer as a community with the government. This war about what they call the terrorists of the White Army against the government. It's not the Nuer community. Because White Army, they don't represent Nuer community. No. And we heard from all the Nuer leaders, the Nuer in the governments, and even the ordinary citizens of Nuer people, While army don't represent them. They are terrorists. How are you going to be represented by a terrorist group? Government, they have to deal with this very seriously, Ajama. Well, they have to take it serious. They don't have to take it just like this is the White Army. They are citizens. They are civilians. They are no. Because when they get a chance to kill you, they don't have mercy on you as a government. So government, you have to take it serious. But you are going.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you. And a civilian who pick up the arm is an enemy. There is no such a thing as being a civilian anymore. And here we are. 400 people are dead. And how do you describe them as civilians? I hope the government take a note of what you have said here, brother amigo. Put the marshal of Tongjang Alpana. Anybody that want to speak, you guys take permission from Tongjang and my otherwise, you wait until Tongjang give us his submission. Tongjang put things clearly, and so let's benefit from his analytical skill. I see you, Comrade Punjab. Let's give Tongjang a chance. It is that you're the one coming across Tongjang Punjab, so hang in there, and then whatever you
want to say. I know. Maybe and then I may go. I'll come back later on, maybe after an hour or two. Thank you.
You see, let me do this. People who are up, our people, they like the meeting. Let's just give them like 4 minutes. Everybody let them talk. I know what I'm talking. And I'm going to be totally different with people here. Let them go.
Okay, amigo, what you call him, Punjab, Tongjang have compromised for you. Thank you, Tongjang, for humbling yourself. Yeah, we will give you ample time later on at the end. Kanaran become judge, so you can say a lot. So, Punjab, go ahead.
All right. First of all, thank you, Honor Tongjang, and I greet everyone in the room. I would say, again, condolences to me, they are all my people, whether you are a member of SSPDF or the SSPDF, or you are a member of White Army, they are South Sudanese. I think it was preventable that we have a leader in Juba, and I'm not only blaming one side. Both sides, the SPLM-IO and the SPLM-IG, did they take the time and thought over, things would have been different. And now we are blaming, we are playing a blaming game. Is a problem of President Kiir, is a problem of Riek Machar. And there's no plan to stop the war. When I listened to that recording of late Major General David Major Duck, what came to my mind is is on the social media, what General Joseph Lago told Numeri when Numeri was about to attack Bor. He said, if you attack it, you will never quench that fire. Leave it alone. Numeri didn't listen to that advice. And where were we? 21 years of war, 2.5 million or more lives were lost. It seems that our people, there's no plan. There's no plan from the government, from IG. There's no plan from IO. But again, let me focus on IG because the leadership of IO is already in jail. So what is the plan of the president to rescue South Sudanese, to avoid this problem? What is it? People are saying, White Army have no leader. I think in one of the rooms 2 days ago, we were talking about this, and there is no way such magnitude of armed forces would attack and capture. Now the number is 400 people without a leadership. They have a structure. And that structure has to be acknowledged, and people have to talk with them. Whatever name you call them terrorists, you call them what? The truth of the matter is, the reality is, you have a challenge and you need to address it. Calling them that you're going to disarm them, that's, I said in one of the rooms a few days ago, Ibrahim Abu tried, didn't crash the Nyanya. The same thing with Numeri, until Numeri came to his senses that it was a winnable war, and the peace agreement was signed. Again, the SPLA, Numeri came into power, wanted to crush the rebellion before even it started in Bor. What happened? Tora Dab, Sadiq Al-Mahdi, Umar Bashir, it came to consensus that it was a winnable war. They have to sit and find a political settlement. So to me is that, what is the plan? What's the way forward? How are we coming out of this mess? How we prevent more death? That's the question we should be talking about. Yes, I know myself, I have no power, and so many people in this room. But if we have a voice, that we join a strong voice against the continued war, I think we will prevent more death. Whether you are supporting the government or you are supporting Iowa, the people will die. We are the losers, the South Sudanese, and I keep saying this. We are the loser. The nation is losing its own citizen for no reason other than someone wants to stay in power for so long, or someone wants to come to power using people. Our leaders are gambling with the lives of our people, and it's unfortunate. By the way, thank you so much, for the chance, and thank you, moderator. I think it was amigo. I appreciate the opportunity for coming up. All of you, thank you so much. But personally, this is from the bottom of my heart. What can we do to prevent more death? Whether you are an Iowa supporter or you are a government supporter, do we need more death? Or do we need, does the government need to engage with White Army to stop this madness and bring security and civility to, security to our people? And then from there, we can talk about development and other stuff. But we need security for now. We need to stop guns, and we need to stop killing each other. Thank you so much. I yield back the mic.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Punjab. You had 5 minutes to go. Akol, you have a question. It can be a straight question, not a rejection, not comment. So please go ahead, ask Punjab, so we can give sheet more commentator a chance to respond on to where Punjab.
Yeah, thank you, Dewal. What I want just to add is White Army fighting for a national cause, or is it that a tribe had to be appeased by all other tribes? Because I don't get it. Because what is White Army? Because we have all opposition. Thank you. What I want to say is, White Army become a terrorist and have to be dealt with. Otherwise, I will have to tell the color that they have, because they hide behind the White Army. Is the White Army now in the order of the day people have to talk to them, or is it the IO? Thank you, Brother Dewal.
Okay, thank you, Kunjab. Take a minute or so to define for us what is the White Army that you think the government should approach them to have a negotiation with them. How do you define them? Organized forces, community defense force, what are they? Tim?
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Cole. I appreciate your question. And I would like to, for those who are commending there, the brothers from Nuer and the sisters, Denka is not going anywhere. And Nuer is not going anywhere. The earlier we accept each other, the better. And that will be good for both of us, both tribes. Now the question is, the White Army, they have no national agenda. What they were saying in Nasir, they were saying we want a unified forces. That is legitimate. I'm not defending White Army. I from Twitch, I will not. We have a conflict. Ngok, our neighbors, I see Pagat up here. After what took place between us and Ngok, if the armed forces of South Sudan is brought and majority of Ngok, we'll say no. We will object to that. So why don't we put ourselves into those feet of those people? They have a structure. They need to be engaged. Yes, they are terrorists to you, to me. They are genuine people who are asking for unified forces. I don't have all the details. I'm not defending White Army, nor am I defending the South Sudan People Defense Force. I'm saying something went wrong in Juba, and that is the leadership needs to be blamed. Thank you so much. But to me, they are not terrorists. This is how you look at them.
Okay, thank you. Chief Commentator Amigo, unified forces as a demand of the White Army. But when we look at the RRC, Chapter 2, Article 2.2, Section 2.2.1, it says that they are not even called unified forces. They are defined as necessary unified forces, which were supposed to be trained from the day agreement was signed all the way up to 8 months. 8 months they should have been ready to be deployed to protect the dignitaries of the peace of the agreement. Is there any legal base here for the White Army to demand the unified forces, which seem to be endorsed now by Tem Kunja? And also to tell us, Amigo, is it right for the government to go and say, here is a round table, you White Army, come here, let's sit together and negotiate. To negotiate with the government system of what? As what kind of organization? What do they represent? What national interests do they represent? So from the angle of the RRC itself, the White Army even makes sense, because from my understanding of the agreement, those unified forces were supposed to expire a long time ago. If the agreement was signed in 2018, then the unified forces should have been ready in 2019. We are in 2025. And White Army coming from the cattle camps and demanding the unified forces. Is there a legitimate argument there, Amigo? Take 2 minutes and so we can pass the mic on to Comrade Tongjiang, Amigo.
Yeah, absolutely. Benoit, I agree with you. First of all, Brother Kunjok, one of the things that he mentioned here, he would like to compare the White Army with Anyanya and the SPLM. SPLM, when they were fighting with the cause. They have an agenda. That's why we have the country called South Sudan today. But what is the cause that the White Army are fighting for? Internationally, White Army has been described as a terrorist organization. Period. Just full stop. You see? And the government cannot negotiate with a terrorist. You see? The solution that have to be done for South Sudan to have peace, White Army should be disarmed by the government. For now, they want to take it as this is just as a tribal war. That's from their own side, but not from the side of the South Sudanese people on the government. No. White Army, yeah, the solution, they have to disarm completely. Otherwise, you will never see peace in Sudan. Because when you take an arm and you don't have an agenda and you don't have a cause for the fighting, you will just be a criminal for the rest of your life. Just fighting and killing and savage. You see, they don't have no cause at all to fight for. The only solution for this war to stop, the White Army should be disarmed by the government. And even the government, they should mobilize the international community, okay, to help them. In this, we see the war in Iraq. When the U.S. went to Iraq, they did not went by themselves. The U.S. can go to Iraq and wipe Iraq out of the map completely, but they did not go to war by itself. Took all their allies with them to Iraq. The terrorists, you see. So, for the government, they have to bring solutions, but the solutions have to be at the conditions. There is no two arms. Even the what's so-called SPLM-IO. This SPLM-IO, the government, they should come to the final solutions with this group because they are sympathizers with the White Army. Either they have to be fully SSPDF or either they have to be done as well. And by one, the RRCs, there is so many things like has not been implemented, and that's what was the biggest mistakes. But either like they need to go and unify all these people. Otherwise, there's one thing. Let me before I finish. You see, Banyual, Sudan. One of the big mistakes that General Salva Kiir did, those militias, and to be part of the army of South Sudan, that was the biggest mistake. Because those militias, they've been fighting alongside with Jalaba, alongside with the Khartoum government over 2 decades against Junubin. How in the world you just want to come and bring them and join the army of the country? Not do that in the beginning. See, that's some of the mess that we're still paying for it till today. Thank you.
Agree, brother. Thank you very much. You know, as a matter of fact, if you are Genovine and the RR today, El Kilma White is only mentioned one time, and it's mentioned to mean a white paper. White Army is not even part of RR to even demand the unification of the forces. Only parties to the agreement are the ones who should demand the implementation of the agreement. Everybody get to rise up, and come and demand some stuff to be done within the RR. The money RR is not really owned by the parties to the agreement. Okay, they just Baba Folder. And for the like of Ustaz Kunjak to support the nonsense from the White Army, that was completely uncalled for. It doesn't make any sense at all. Chief Tongjang exposed it, man. Give it to us in black and white, like the way you do it in your room. 400 South Sudanese dead, as confirmed by the government. Very, very unfortunate news. And I'm sure it is more than that. I agree with Comrade Wilson when he said that. Yes. So, but the government confirmed to us that 400 SSPDF have been killed. That is the report now. What is your take on this, Tongjang? Was it preventable, or what's the deal here? I know you've been doing a good job in your room, and for the benefit of the fellow citizens who are in South Sudan legal media, give it to us. My goes to you, Tongjang, and then of course. Know that Chief Amigo is watching you and listening to you clearly. So, state the facts as you know them. My goes to you, Tongjang. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. My special greeting for all South Sudanese and South Sudan Eagle Media. I'm going to be very, very different here. And I want to be fair as possible. Everybody know me here. My position is clear. Here, one thing I want to say first, I want to pay my condolences for anybody died in the Nasir. And what happened in the Nasir, sea troops are going now. Everybody, I advise you to be really more that is coming. More people are going to be died. Those soldiers going there, this is going to be a big war. So for me, I grew up in that area. And I stayed there for many years. I know everybody. I'm calling for a woman, elderly and women, and a little boy and a little girls to leave immediately, because this is going to be something. War might subside next month. There might be no war for a government troop. Government troop, they will be barricade themselves, and I don't think there is any civilian coming in the town. That will be totally a mistake. Propaganda of White Army is wrong. Let me start it here. What actually numbers of army were in the Nasir? What was in the Nasir was brigade. Brigade is a 3 battalion. 2 brigade equal division. Division is 6,000. What was in the Nasir was 3,000. Okay, you subtract 300 from the 6,000. 2,600 are dead. And this government, it brought up these numbers to just tell you, to convince you, systemic failure in the Nasir and who to be blamed. For me, I don't like to talk those things in other people's room that are government support. So I open my own room and latch out, and you can see in my room, government supporters, they know I'm going to blame government, they don't want to come my room. White Army, I'm going to put blame on them, but White Army are innocent to this. White Army, they were foot. Who killed people in the Nasir? Was SPLA Riek Machar. President Kiir made it clear. Kongchora label, CDR made it clear. Johnson Woolen said it clear. The other court said it clear. Did we give credit to what credit deserves? I'm not going here to pat people back. SPLM, IO, 400 their soldiers, they were killed in Raja. They were trying in Western Barkazal, they were defeated militarily. 380, they were killed in Yambio. So what happened? They have to reciprocate it by using tribe. So Port Kang and Dr. Machar give SPLM of Kirmayar best medicine in an answer. Very simple. What is a mistake? How Majur died? Here, this is what you guys need to know. I've said this time without numbers, and no one listened to me. Because government are sabotaging what I'm saying. SPLMIO, Songjang is the jam, and all those things. All those radical Nuers who have their own objective in their mind and hatred of Denga. Whatever I say, they say Songjang is lying. And this is how SPLMIO, they like to criticize other people. White Army, they like to criticize other people. And they don't like to be criticized, which is totally further. This war in South Sudan, it's going to go like 1985. It's going to go like the war Abdallah Shawal was killed. It's going to go like the war when Gaitud was killed. And this we need to be very clear. This war is just the beginning of it. And you're going to see this either will be how people are going to term it is something different, I don't know. But for a lot of people pushing this war, we've seen them now in the Nasir. These who are now fall on Gajok only of Nasir. You cannot see any reaction in the Gajak. You don't see no reaction in Gawer. You don't see anything in the Lownware. Even the rest of the Bentiu, you don't see it. So when you see reaction was bull. And this problem of bull is going to subside very soon. But this in the Nasir, a lot of people are going to be dead. So what happened in the Nasir, it was a brigade is in the Nasir. How many army in the Nasir? When you talk about unified forces, you talk about different units to be mixed. Nasir have 4 army in the Nasir. 10,000 SPLM IO of Dr. Mashar. 1,000 of Taban Dengai in Katbe. 80,000, 80, United Nations mission in South Sudan, in Mandang. And you have 3,000 of Kiev. And now we report 400 dead. 400, they ran away from Nasser. And all whether they say are dead, confirmed dead, is lie, complete lie. Who to be blamed? South Sudan is militaristic state run by military intelligence, President Kiir. The Deputy Defense Minister, Cholson Barlow of Katiba Jammus, military intelligence, trained in 1983 with Wiyai Deng. Cholson Barlow is still military intelligence until today. Still active general, is not retired. Cholson Barlow, I exempted him. He have no failure. Even he have a title, Defense Minister, it's not a failure. He's a guy used to command troops. Cholson Barlow, Wiyai Deng, Jamazotmat, you cannot blame them, or Hong Choranli, for their failure. Those are not soldiers' sacked. I want to say one thing to Wilson Sonaku. Tribal politics, or Upper Nile politics, or stereotype because people are from this tribe. You said something earlier about Kong Choranle. Kong Choranle, Yak Machar chased him out. Gerald Wang from Nasser. Gerald Garogar Kwat. Those people, they want to kill Yak Machar. If they find Yak Machar, they will kill Yak Machar. But there's no way you can level in that the explicit for the White Army, nothing. What Kong Choranle, CDR doing with the telephone is calling Salatin and try to convince people. New war is coming to his home. Kong Choranle is Gajo from Nasser, from Korenge. His uncle is Sultan of Jikanyuer. Overall, like Sultan, like Mangar, my check in Agar, Sultan like Young Duot. His name is Old Gwandong Kur. They one Kur. Galwak Deng Garang, grandmother of Galwak Deng, is Kur. They one Kur.
But can you deny that his own section is the last who killed the general? The section when
we will give you a chance. Let him
his sections are the group that came up with Riek Machar and throw him out. Me in Tweet Mayadi now, how many people hate me in Tweet? If I have a power to reciprocate them, I will do the same thing. Because nobody owned Tweet. Guy joke, no one, White Army did not go on Guy joke and throw Kong Chorale out, or Garot Garkot, or General Wang, who were severely discriminated by Riek Machar. And those guys is Kong Chorale in Chen, Charles Sudani, and Rumbek, when his brother led Fal Ranley died a couple of years ago. Fal Ranley was Mafas in Rumbek. Kong went the same school with Gareth. And in Chen, Charles Sudani, and went to Nasir. And then the war broke out in Bor and it took off. Kong is Korea is all SPLA. CDR, Carbino captured Kurmo, Carbino was arrested. Who captured Kurmo number 2 was Kong Chorale when he was captain. And then give him name that is the CDR. CDR is abbreviation of commander. Because the operation in line when they captured Kurmo. Here what happened in Nasir? 1,000 brigade were there. When Major was talking on the telephone in the record you guys just played, that person was calling White Army. And he said, how you guys going to make this? We hear that the leaders had this arrangement to leave. How you guys arrange that for this leader to move out? And Major picked up the telephone. The guy was shocked. That guy worked with you and in Malakal. He ran away. White Army now, their names are identified now. Even the new chairman now, all SPDF and Nasir right now, everybody have pictures of him in his pocket. His name is Kang Makana from Maker Gagwang, between Gajo and Gaja. Maker Gagwang, when you left, and Gagwang are part of Gajo, but they are called Gagwang. Their grandfather is called Wang Kir and Jak Kir. Jak Kir is the father of Gajak. Wang Kir is the Gagwang.
I can tell you your time is up. You have to take a minute to learn it, and then I will give it to Wilson. And of course, Wilson is going to say something to you, and then we will give you a mic back again to respond to questions.
So 3,400 confirmed that 2,600 are dead. You see corpses everywhere. The corpses were that in that building was destroyed, and but somebody that did not dry bones yet. There was 280 Maoris that were executed in that area. 2,600 are dead in the Nasser. Government is afraid to expose this. SPLMIO, Nasser was captured at night, 1 o'clock. That's the day Nasser second. And at 8 a.m., White Army was pushed to do this. When Major was talking, Major was forced to lie too. I want to say this. Major was forced. First thing, when Kir knew this, they were negotiated to withdraw, to accept troops to withdraw, and they go Malakal and build up their military, and they will go back with full force. But this did not want to be done. Riek Machar want to do it, to be in the middle, and Kir play Riek Machar. Major was taking a lie. Even when he lied, that is in the Baba, it's not. Major was taking to negotiate their way out. When he went there, he never returned with his soldiers. They were captured and all hostage by SPLM-IO military intelligence. Yidak is a director of national security. Yidak father, Riek Machar mother, sisters. SPLM-IO director of MI, his name is Teng. His name is Diling. Diling last name is Teng. Riek Machar last name is Teng. When people said family organization, IO, that's what it is.
Okay, clear enough. Let's take a question from Wilson, and then we'll give it back to you. Get ready.
Yeah, I want to say who to be blamed here.
Okay.
Blame what happened. Blame going to President Kiir direct. And Kiir is the military intelligence. He never been in fire. When Garang died, Salva Kiir was a head of the spy of SPLA and was deputy chairman of SPLA. That's why I take over. Did Garang retired him from military intelligence? No. Did Salva Kiir ever made it clear that he's retired? He gave up his job. Head of intelligence is different. The only one to be appointed in South Sudan is a director and minister. And a head of intelligence, nobody have that position. President Kiir still have that title. Every day, daily report, military daily report, parade, tamam, on all units. They will be taken to General Headquarters in Bill Farm, and General go to Tiger and give the report for all units every day. Sirelel, military curfew at night, overnight curfew, Sirelel. President Kiir sent it to Nasir for Doria. How this happened? Cholton Balok was giving that position. He's a man, no failure. Did Salva Kiir trust him? No. He was a bodyguard of Garang, Arasta Garang. So don't have no power. Akintama Lev failure, director of national security, all ngang those in-laws of Salva Kiir failed this. If it was Garang, people should be in jail up till today. For this systemic failure.
Okay.
I will be talking next time about.
All right. Well, you respond. Wilson, go ahead and clarify what Song Jiang said with regards to you speaking in a way that you want to blame.
Yeah. Here is what I want to clarify, and I also blame both sides before. Mine was to finger point where the failure comes. That's why I bring Control LA that was assigned to go to his own city. There was a failure because he slowed down the move of troops, that he's talking with the Latin, he's talking with the White Army, and the White Army came to the Facebook here, they will say, no, we cannot hear from you. If we see you do, we will kill you. So that's why I find that you cannot bring another person that we know. Another thing, Jamana, that need to be corrected by our president too, appeasing people who rebel before and then you give them to go where they rebel from is another problem, where you are give them a tease that, you know, they are very important. They can come back in the system and create confusion. Like what is going on now in Bentiu. These are the people who rebel and they were later left there to be redeployed in their own place. I'm talking forces Bita Taban, forces Bita Matip Zaman, Shunuk, they have become Division 4. They never go where to South Sudan. You can see the Yao Yao thing, the so-called Kabra. They are still intact in the Morley land. The same thing here. So when you are bringing the former rebel, give them a big job like that, I think to me it's no. Now you see when the change of command comes, the mission does take 1.5 and they made it to Nasir. They changed the command. The only what delaying them was to build up some little Kubri. That's why it took them a week and a half between Gilashul, which is Baliet, to Ula. But the mission went success. There were no any leaks coming out. Going to White Army, Nadir Fikide, Nadir, they are doing that. So the security was tough. So the White Army does not know the move. But when it was heading by Kongchor Ale, there was a lot of inside were fly like that. Babur gain fi Malakal, Bamchi Sakide, Babur into Kamsila, Unat Flan Vejai. This was so, that's what I want to clarify to Young. The guy is a great job. He did a great job during the SPLA, no deny. He did his job, the Kongchor Ale. We cannot deny it. But there is a failure where you reassign the people whom had problem with you. Now you reassign them without mix. So now when the command was changed, you see, it took the army. They fought a good war. Some people lying here, oh, they find Wulang Fadi. No, they were to 3-day war in Aluel and Kubriyan, where the White Army from Nasir, from Wulang, from Nirol, some part of the law, they came. They say we're going to fight the young troop in a young land. They come to Baliat land in the Northland. Fighting with a Yum Saba, Yum Tamene, Yum Tisa, Yum Ashara. When the White Army defeat there, Lama fight Vitao to Wulang, they come and loot the Wulang, Nasir, Mashid Nasir. And from there, they left the town. And the army moved for the last 3 days. They capture all these places. So that's what I want to clarify. Okay. There was a negligence. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for clarification. Dr. Okany, what Madit Myapal, Mike, can go to you now before we proceed to Comrade Bagat. So, apparently, Wilson did not challenge you again, so he just clarified his position. So, we will move on with the mic until we come back later on the chit-chat conversation.
Let me take 2 minutes. 1 minute. But also remember, Amigo Michael of the school, and now become a commentator. But
he said he will come back. He said he will come back. He write that in chat room. Yeah.
Let me give 2 minutes to interject. Number one, Brother Wilson, and that is difficult to be my James Comrade, because in 2014 we have 300 tank drivers. And since 1983, and that's all, don't monopoly. Who you got a lumana? Like it's about that case, but then, but also at the same time, this man is no longer in charge of his area. So, this guy now become an enemy to those people. And now he's doing his job to ensure that nothing has global by then. Number two, we have to blame Rais Kirmiadi as the commander-in-chief. Whether he's doing good or bad, he still is a leader and he can be blamed. It does not mean that he is 100% guilty, but because he is in charge, Ledolo. Why Mr. now has become a problem? Because when you send Johnson Woolley was the commander but at his armament. And also you have the Congo is supposed to be the leader actually to lead it. But because of the position that Johnson Woolley, maybe it has sent some wrong message thereafter, but not the case. Number Talata. Rais Kirmiadi is a Magalton. Young Selva Kirmiadi was a spy chief until now he never relinquished his position. Remember, this brother, Gulo Kirmiadi, was trained also by KGB. You know how Putin was do his business. Brother Kirmiadi, I always say Rais Kirmiadi. But he knows who work up the Sher Kabir. And I want to say it here. Al-Malaj, when they brought to Sudan after the death of John Garang. And I want also Ravi to disagree with you in that point. The reason why Al-Forces were not rejected, because if you reject them after the death of John Garang, CPA would have collapsed. With Sudan, Makan would have done it. But a mistake has when the problem came after the separation of South Sudan. The Kirmiadi is supposed to use a brutality of justice. What does it mean? It means that before that, a younger man, and the 16 military command could share, but except him or Kirmiadi, Commander Salva Kiir. Later on, Rais Kirmiadi Rajanasa for Berutu. And that's the problem area. And I'm over retirement by force. Do retirement as optional. And if they refuse, is a girl, we are not going to retire. Now you will start to arrest them. Well, General Malaysia, German, Sudan, Zamanda, and militia do, but you know, but now also you start to accuse them and lock them up. In order for you to build a foundation, because the Akumta Sora, there's no democratic system to Akumta Sora. Either you have to do it the way Sorin Biamalu, or you're going to have a problem, and now we have issues. Lastly, the issues of Nasir Rajama, it was overdue. Regardless, we have lost 3,000 or 4,000. I will use it the way Joseph Stalin Gal when that is a tragic that is statistics. What does it mean? It means that after this one, the White Army fusion is over. That's in my whole future, and the Young Machar is over. And there will never be another Young Machar. And there will never be
a prophecy that will be used in South Sudan. And from here, at the same time, my recommendation to South Sudan government, a law against tribe, a law against sectarianism, and a law against religion, and use this as Ghanun to incarcerate at least 2 to 3 million people. Obade the majority are Lakin I blame at this point is necessary. We must ensure that justice must prevail and a full combat, a military confrontation with the white army. And those who are supporting the white army, if you have an association with the white army, is the end of the white army, and you refuse to denounce them, you'll be punished. White army has no relationship with Nuer. Nuer, the white army, they're not together. Yes, white army are Nuer, like him and I shy. But Nuer the Gabila man to allow the white army. And South Sudan government, you must use this definition. When you identify a Jerima, identification of a case, it's called isolation. And then you decapitate. And the white army must be decapitated using Ghanum Mutahirahab. And that is my interjection. One more ayadi. Shukran.
Thank you, Comrade Kwatia. Dr. Okoin.
Shukran. Well, you know what, another Genovin? We like to run around none of the Sibagiga. None of the Sibagiga, I don't know, got a column for 10 years from now, we will talk about it again. Yakwana, this so-called Wyoming, Manuel Kulu, they made it clear that the woman into Mishla Denka, Hokuma, Denka. Salva Kiir happened to be Dinka. Major when he was killed in Nasser, it was a message sent by Nuer to Denka. That Ajal happened to Majoralele will happen to every Denka. Now, Hukuma Batana Gabel Bajibara, and then they're talking about nonsense. Do they address this issue with Nuer, Michel Denka there? Ajal they happen Gatir. As Fiela always, Bukuchu Mishakal, my Nuer, Ela Denka Bajim I try to receive with the government of the Lifa Jatani. Mushakal can bada Nasser, Michel Nasser County wide. Now is a 9 county, which is the majority of Nuer. How long will it take before another Nuer join in? That's the question now. Do not celebrate that Nuer have but give the friend. No, they will not. They will join. It is just a matter of day. When will they join their brothers to fight against what they call Dinka government? So Gal Gabel, this so why we need to be negotiated with. Yakunjok, I'm glad that it's a guy from Malta and the Malta people there. Land they know that Nuer Bukul Tawale. I just there call my own Bukulu Jang. It will show them in Munu. The Munu Banadu Jang. That's Albakevara, all the Jang command. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Okon. Yeah, it's very weird, and that generalization of Dinka being made the enemy of Nuer will need voices of Nuer intellectuals to challenge those ideas, and it is true. We have to call a spade a spade. Some of the white army.
Okay, my friend, I'm sorry, my friend.
The white army has declared war on the Dinka as well as on the government. So both of them are the target of the white army. And that needs voices within the Nuer community to challenge that. Thank you very much. May I call Pandit?
Shukran, Ustaz Wal. I'm not going to repeat what people said, but I will just put some dots on some, according to Arabic, on the alphabets. Even though زمان عندنا أستاذ بتاعنا من Nile State معكور لو عايش ربنا يعني طول من عمره بتاع رياضيات تخصص دائما بقول لنا قال I don't like Arabic because Arabic does not have a capital letter. فأنا داير أقول شنو؟ I want to agree with Dr. Okoy when he spoke from the beginning. في كلام قبل قالوا إنه government of South Sudan must give these people who are killing our people in South Sudan an ID. And it's the same thing that Ustaz Agwat said, these people must be identified. Then when you are dealing with a crime, you must identify what kind of people you are fighting with. I want to agree with Ustaz Dr. Olu in that. Wanana Arfin, Rajamana definition of terrorism. Rajamana ma that local is White Army is a terrorist organization. And that's why I disagree. To negotiate with a terrorist. Terrorists, they're the ones who do negotiation. You don't have to negotiate Mauda. There's all Hindu agenda, siyasiya, or agenda without a marufa. Like in somebody's killing innocent people. How can you negotiate with that person? Who's all terrorists? I shall talk about Mafi Marwa as that we can come and blow. Never mind the agenda, this is all intihari. It can go and blow you up and blow themselves up. So how can you negotiate with them? Mafi. I will give you an example. In 1986, when SPLA shut down Airbus, automatically Akumata Khartoum gal, no. We are not going to negotiate with these people anymore. Gal, these people, they become a terrorist if they become to target in either civilians. And the Western world, America Tawali has bought that. That American Tawali Gamelfo. SPLA just came out from a list of terrorism recently. Now, because if you are targeting innocent people and cutting them off in the way that we see, and also, I want to agree, Mausas Amigo, Inu Ejamana White Army, West PLM-IO, including the Riek Machar, they don't represent Nuer. And this is why people fail all the time. Unas, Usazoko in the Beshoya, Uzalan, Usazoko in the Lanule, ya Usazamigo can swallow the. But if you are talking about the Riek Machar, Nuerawi Tani Bugula, and the guy is talking about Nuer, you're targeting Nuer. You talk about IO, you're targeting Nuer. You're talking about Warabi, Manata Nuer, and the Muslim Nuer. When you want to disconnect the Jamana organizations and politicians from the communities. Why? Because you yourself are suffering from this. Wadea Kalama Sapara Bekala of Human Zaman, Kula Nadenka in Zaman Bugula Jamana, don't kill Dinka, don't declare a war on Dinka. Kalam Algaro Victoria, the Kalamsa, Ma Ajama Victoria Machar since 1991. Ulaman Betla Abara, Min al Hakuma, Ajamana, the Dinka must be targeted. Innocent Dinka. But the Kalamgana Gulule, a woman in the Gandes Maugal, they've been dissected, and the wombs cut open. Ushalu Jinin Betabarada are the Dinka women, innocent people. One day, President Kiir saw the person who was interviewing him, I think it was from BBC. Galo, at least, and I didn't wear guardian my university in Juba, and I didn't wear guardian in my hometown. Lakin gada will renew Dinka Wahid, the Mamtiga with Io. Can you just bring me only one Dinka? Fail to answer that. None where they've been slaughtered Kulo. Quiz, Ajamana, how are we going to take this idea out of these people? Yausat amigo. Ashanada Nugulom in the Kulium in the court, Ajamana, the Riek Machar. We targeted him as somebody who failed politically, who's killing our people. But we disconnect the Nuer from it. Lekin Nuer Bamu Nasu connection, my White Army, Bamu Nasu connection, my IO. So into how are you going to take this out of these people's mind? And I'm looking. How are you going to do? Manata Bashwa had put my boor in against that to go there than Nuer Kulu. And when you say the man Nuer Kulu, you look at the position of James Post, you look at the position of Victoria Guy, you look at the position of Warren Boy, you look at and a lot of people from good Nuer whom mind of even the spokesperson of the United of the DPF who Nuerawi. Lekin yet our people are still saying in Nukaman Hajatan, how are you going to educate these people to Shil Kalam Khatolo Rasuda? Not because they associate the government Mabugulda Hakuma, Bugulda Denka. Umbugulda Denka. Manatu al-fikra da shani shilu bara murasa nazel illa kun diktorin mashari ya mushi shilu bara junubin zaman ma kanu zayda junubin kullu zaman kanu zayda bugul inda na mushkila ma arab fi khartoum inda na mushkila ma arab anyanya wan majagal inda na mushkila ma arab illa one from the anyanya one people and we don't get He went with the guy and Joseph Dogo, no. That's not the problem. And that's why SPLA came out, and SPLA came and said that Jamana Shalo Kadamda Beraz Junubin. Otherwise, Nas Miako, Nas Amigo Kanando Michela says I can't put Manal Jaladi. That can Zaman Ayizol Mutahar, Natanya 1, Natanya 2, Ayizol Mutahar, Natamigo Del Nas Janu Margatan, because open to our Hussein Nasir Del Arab. Lekin SPLA came, the guy Nas Lala, and then I minded a Miskela Arab. Our problem is the government in Khartoum. They did not actually, identity of Sudan was not addressed very well when we took our independence from English. And that's why you see SPLA was very attractive to people like Mansour Khalid, Dr. Mansour Khalid, Rabbana Yatagabbar Ruhu, Dr. Yusuf Ko, Rabbana Yatagabbar Ruhu, Yasir Arman, including Ibn Ahmad al-Marghani, including the Buyutat al-Kabira that are coming to Miskila. They are confused that they did not know that what they were doing. Why? Not because there was a very wise doctor. Who is going to re-educate these people? Who is going to do that? اللي يكون واحد زول الخرب راس النازل دكتورين مشاري himself. My last point, I want to agree with people who are we can blame Salva Kiir Mayadit. Yes. All the time Salva can be blamed. Lano is the commander-in-chief, he's the president, he's the leader. Mabzo can amlo blame. He must take that. ما في مشكلة. لأنه في البيت إذا في مشكلة في البيت حاجة ناقصة في البيت ده أبو البيت ده راجل أبو الأمة والحاجة ده أبو الجنة. لكن أنا بقول إنه what happened ده كلام تاع جبال أميغو قالوا يا جماعة حكومة والأفصال السودان وناس SSPDF they have trusted يا جماعة دكتوريك مشار. Why? لأنه يا جماعة even in the agreement دكتوريك مشار is the chairman of governance. His cluster is the governance. Governance there فيه ناس security فيه ناس حاجات ده كله. ومسؤول من الحاجات ده. Lakin, was it a wise thing to be done? No. No, when there is a war, anybody's allowed is better than man to kalam. War is Dr. General, Dr. Jesh, the DL family also could have taken the wali position, even so all my look, man. The commander, and the plan become the commander. How can you trust United Nations? After United Nations, that can't do that. كده وين in the world أنا كجيش أنا أديكم مثل لما كان الجماعة في عساكر في هنا في Somalia when they get caught up to the militia then United Nations لكن United Nations did they go by themselves? No. في special forces في rangers في Delta forces والقوات كل لهم why they call them اسمهم extraction forces هو ده الاستخلاص طياره يجي يقعد وبال ما يقعد هو ده الاستخلاص يكونوا قاعدين اول حاجه في ناصر ده ما الهليكوبتر ده يجي يقعد ما يجونا بيونايتد نيشنز ده is the problem of South Sudan معناته اللي كان عملوا بلان لجنوب السودان في 2030 يكون في مشاكل في جنوب السودان and they want to bring new president وكلام الفارغ ده اسمها United Nations. With that being said, let us agree وخاصة المثقفين من أبناء نوير المتعلمين they need to أجمعنا to accept إنه when people are talking about white army حتى لو كان من قبيلة واحدة حتى لو كان بقى من دينك أنا جاي منه ذاته they will be called terrorists. Nobody can deny that. لكن nobody will say والله نازل they are associated مع دينك. Never. بيسموهم terrorists. With that being said أنا بجيبهم وشكرا.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Comrade Miyakol. I agree with you, especially with the definition of the terrorism. That we need to get that in right mind. And when I look at the United Nations definition of what a terrorist is, it defines terrorism as a criminal act intended or calculated to provoke a state of terror in the general public, a group of persons or particular person for political purposes, and in any circumstance and justifiable. Whatever the considerations of a political, philosophical, ideological, racial, ethnic, religious, or any other mature or any other nature that may be invoked to justify them. So see that? That's the definition of the United Nations. So you correct 100%, Miyakol. What White Army has been doing that. It could be definition that you wanted. Did you hear the word ethnic? Yes. What did the White Army say? The young light pioneer gore come the young tell Malay. So the White Army declared a war on a Dinka community. So that constitutes a terror act, and it fits the definition. Comrade Bagat, my apologies.
You left one thing, religion, Magal Munde and Gal Kalanda.
A command religious few command. See, and then there is a Mundeng, the Menpop, a command as Munde as the Wurjang, which is now don't kill people, you come and wake up alive here in the Northland. So see, White Army is a perfect example of a terror. Bagat, my goes to you, brother.
But just 1 second, Brother Bagat Malish. Sorry. Before we just move the mic to Brother Bagat Malish, I'm so sorry. I would just like to ask Brother Mayako, because Brother Mayako, he just mentioned something here. They said that Dr. Riek Machar, he's the one need to be a problem solver for those some of Nuer who consider this war is against Dinka and Nuer, so he can solve this problem. And how Dr. Riek can be a problem solver, Miyakon, and this guy cannot be trusted. Dr. Riek Machar, he fought against Junubin more than to fight with Junubin during the struggle and after our independence. This guy is just fighting against Junubin all the time. How it can be trusted, Dr. Riek Machar, to be a problem solver on these issues here? Thank you.
Yes, Miracle, go ahead, take a minute and so to respond. And then, but then Miracle, I'm going to be a little busy. Miracle, Madit, and you guys can run the room until I come back. Oh, my, I couldn't much Bagat, or but Bagat, I usually Matianganur, when Matianganur, and then Brother Attack. Okay, and then the first choice. So go ahead, Miracle, to Menak, the Dule, and other Bagat. And I will join you guys. I'll be able to listen. But I won't be able to make I will not be able to open the mic because it's going to be very noisy. It's going to be really, really loud. But I can listen to you guys.
Yeah, shukran Ustaz Amigo. So what I mean, Ustaz Amigo, Innu, Zol al Kharab Rusen and Nazel, the one who actually destroyed the mind of these people, the one who taught these people and misled them, instead to tell them that we have a political agenda. But he's always going to use them against that in the word of the Denka. Nobody can do that unless Dr. Riek Machar himself to go and redo what he has done, the way that actually he misled his people. If Chitani Bulome Akwana, we were wrong. Hakuma da Barao, Gabila da Barao. And then if we are targeting the government of Juba, we hold self-accountable was PLM. Manda the Muslim Muatin, Selga Muatin, Matamulu. John Garan Kangadamul Kalam de Zaman. Tiamas Koreb, Malmasa Gabadu. He complimented the soldiers. Ibn Bagan kan mojud inak. Galo mtu amuntu shugul kwais. Lano tuzakum ya hakuma. Untu bakina ya tukuna hakuma wa shab da shab bitakum. Ma dishilu hak shabab. Maanatu is Dr. Riek Machar. Lano naza they believe only is Dr. Riek Machar. Loma Dr. Riek Machar, one of the doctors. Min abna Nuer lazim shanendo su Nuer zatu. Lana se kalam de biga fi rasum ya Ustaz Amigo. Nobody can delete that. Now you've been talking, each and every one of you diamond kabna denga zatu. Bitukula ya jamana, ya Juana, ya jamana, White Army is Dama Nuer. White Army is a terrorist organization. Dr. Riek Machar does not represent Nuer. When you say that, they connect themselves to Nuer. There is confusion. That confusion, who can resolve it? Dr. Riek Machar, who did it? Yeah, someone from the Nuer intellectualists, into White Army, da Haja Barao, Nuer da Haja Barao. With that being said, shukran.
Okay.
Yeah, Bagat, follow.
Another Selma Mike Hagi. Otawan ma mudakala del Kitira. Hajat Kitira Kanja and Gulu Las Kutar Galazat. So Sharik Tama Kunta will Sibitan. Lakin album sik high white. Masal people would come and say, hey, White Army is not representing Nuer. Would not get Gulu Kalam, they are not Nuer. Okay, they would come and say White Army is not representing Nuer. The Muslim of Tamu, who choose who? Halda Intel, Manuera, I want to be Bukul last day, Muslim, White Army, my White Army. Is Nuer need to come out and say, hey, White Army is not representing us. That is the logical thing. Because that will not change anything. If you come and say White Army is not representing Nuer, that will not change anything.
But if Nuer came out and say White Army is not representing us, then that can change something. فده طريقة كان اللي مشاكل طريقة ده ما صحيح it's not effective. Well, you just what you have to do to stop White Army from harming people. If representing Nuer or not representing Nuer is Nuer has to say it. But White Army should not harm anyone. That is the thing. White Army to exist or not to exist, that is not the problem. It's the harm that comes to other people. Okay, lo harm that we got the neighboring communities. Then the Muslim of the neighboring communities to protect themselves from the harm. They represent the responsibility to protect themselves from the harm. Well, لكن أنا لما نيجي نقول كلام ما بغير أي حاجة. Even there, when we say White Army they are terrorists, is that going to make White Army disappear? Is that statement going to make White Army disappear or stop them from harming people? No, and there are practical procedures. Ijraat haqiqiya. Why the ijraat haqiqiya? Few knowing, few military confrontation, few logic confrontation. Mamzar, they're not guiding. They are there already. If there is any way, people can negotiate with them. Bulema Jama and some bedena disarmament. So I gabila no militia hago. That is the fact. The hagiga. Lakin militia ta gabila may kush politics. Tajrub. Ma kush politics. May kush modu endo alaga be jesh, modu endo alaga be hakuma. Ma kush. If you insist to kush, anana midawan mark as a movement. Enta. If you declare yourself or you don't declare yourself, we will deal with you as a movement that is opposing the government. And we're going to deal with you as a rebel. Full stop. Like you don't convince them. They should be the one to initiate the conversation. To tell us what is happening. White Army, the manas, they sit by, they bag, they Arab boys. They'll guide, they protect their properties. Why only, what is special about White Army? That they are challenging the government. What is special about that? ده حاجات ناس لازم يتكلموا معاه بكل وضوح. حاجة ثانية في ناس طبعا قاعد يزعلوا لما يلوموا الرئيس. كويس؟ لكن أصلا there is no way, okay, we can avoid blaming the president. Okay, بحاجات بسيط. He is an expert in security. ده زول expert in intelligence. ده شنو بخليه يجيب زول زي تركيا ويجي يكون military هنا يجي يكون security advisor. What is the point? زول خريج جامعة مثلا بقدر بجيب زول شهادة ثانوية عشان يجي يحل له حاجات ممكن طبعا سلفكير كان be his own himself advisor there and he has more knowledge, he has more experience في مجال security. ده شنو بخليه يجيب زول ما عنده علاقة بدراسة security ده ما قرأ security. Security people go to military academy. Okay, YAML training, IDALAM, and then go through experience. But that is a security expert. Like if it is just like that, we let the security advisor, they will security improvement, as the long service, but I do tell them, job to security for Junu. My job is security for Junu. Zola do open budget. Budget there one more come cruise and guide below. At the time, yes, Margariso. The muscular, we overlook things that are harming us. Another guy raise, let my good raise no higher than Mabiji Fighter. Either you have more knowledge than Tutkel. How come you bring Tutkel to advise you from a Majala interview expert? It doesn't make any sense. How you turn in Nazar Karabujet. Those who were insulting those names, Fijes. To Bolis Barao. Well, to 2012 or 2000, whatever, number of ghost names, the system, the friendship, the police, can almost 11,000. You paying 11,000 people that don't exist. Nazma guiding PJ. They don't arrest people, they don't patrol, they don't do anything. But the government from his budget was paying all this money. Then Nazma guiding. Guruza enough Egypt and Nazma enemy. Mal PJ to come unknown names, unknown ghost, another ghost names. The system to come. That they are exhausting the budget of the army. Like people keep silent. Commanders, they were so corrupt. Commanders staff, the divisional, they were accumulating a lot of money to pocket Vitam. They were preventing real soldiers from getting their salaries, and then they were acquiring money by ghost names. And people knew that part, and people ignored it. ما وصل مرحلة جيش دار بقى ما قاعد يسوق. بالنسبة للجيش القاعد في hostile environment. كويس دول solution إنه logistic بتاعه يكون 100%. يكون أكل بتاعهم قارجي، مرتب بتاعهم قارجي، تغيير change يكون قارجي لهم regularly. لأن they are there in hostile environment. جيش القاعد في ناصر ما زي الجيش القاعد في جوبا. الجيش القاعد في جوبا ده ممكن يطلع يمشي يشتغل فاهم. ممكن يطلع يمشي جاسف في السوق، ممكن يمشي لإسكازن يمشي يدو قروش، بقدر سرفايف. لكن زول قاعد في ناصر لو ماشي يفتش سمك بوم ممكن يقتلوه. لو ماشي جاسف في السوق ما بلقى له زول يشغل شغلات على ذات. ماشي يشتغل فاهم ممكن يمشي يموت. هو قاعد في hostile environment. How come you don't send the salary on time? فقط رسل. يعني how do you want these people to survive? ده ناس قاعدين في hostile environment. فحاجات ده كله حاجات ده خرب وانا شايفينه كويس. جيش بتاع الجنوب لما خرب قدام ناس كله كويس. ناس الفايترز اللي جايين بأسفل الحقيقي they were pissed off لما الحكومة start recruiting ناس بتاع militia جايين من خرطوم. They were given higher rank, they were given more assignment, and those people were just ignored. وده زول زار بيكون لو ده موضوع شهادات ده زول جاي من خرطوم ده بيجي ما فاهم ايه حاجة. Different from the SPLA. عسكري ده شنو؟ عسكري عقيدة عسكرية. أنت بقيت عسكري تمام. لكن you don't believe في military doctrine بتاعي then you are useless. لأن العقيدة العسكرية في راسك is different from عقيدة عسكرية بتاع SPLA. معناه أنت بيجي بلخبط صف ده ما بمشي كويس، طابور ما بمشي كويس. والناس ده يا حكومة trusted them more and they are given more assignment أكثر من زول اللويال. So being loyal meaning بتاعه بقى ما في الجنوب. Being loyal that means you don't have assignment. أنت زارك زول قاعد تشتغل للدولة زار بقول زول ده زول معرض ما كويس. بيجيبوا زول اللي قاعد يقتل ناس زول اللي قاعد يعمل شنو أو بيجيبوا قط في هوتيل. يجي الحكومة يجي يدفع لبيلز بتاع هوتيل للناس المجرمين وما يدفع للجيش بتاعه. حاجات ده كله ما بخلي بلد يمشي قدام. ناس جاي يتكلموا في unification of armies. Unification of armies and that song been going for years. ما بيحصل. ياو بيكون حل ذات. جيش جديد يعمله بيكون أحسن من unification of army ده. لأن unification of army ده في جيش البكرة لما نوديه في ميشن يعمل سبتاج. له his own mission ده لو ما يسيبه. يمشي ودي معلومات لعدو. يمشي يقلب سراب تاو للناس يمشي يضرب ناس. ده جيش الناس بيعملوا فريش من جديد زاد يبدو بسرية واحد لغاية ما يصل الجيش كله يبنوا من جديد. لأن الجيش ده is not going to lead us anywhere. ده الدول اللي قاعد يستفيد هسه حاليا قاعد يبني هاي بكل شنو مودرن ارمي. جيش الحديث ما جيش زول بدخلوا في جيش قلب عشان بيعرف يضرب سلاح وبيعرف يقتل ناس. نو جيش أي زول بيجي فيه بمهنة بتاعه. أي زول بيجي في الجيش بمهنة بتاعه. زول اللي بيجي مهندس، زول اللي بيجي بتاع كهرباء، زول اللي بيجي دكتور، زول اللي بيجي نيرس. ناس دول كلهم بيكونوا قاعدين في الجيش. زول عنده alternative. عنده شغل بتاع الجيش بيربط فيه مصاري قروش وعنده شغل بتاعه وزارة تاني. حتى يوم من الأيام لو ريتاير من الجيش هو عنده شغل بيرجع فوقه. جنوب السودان داير modern army جيش حقيقي. ما جيش بايظ militia guy waste our time waste the lives of people. وناس يقولوا لنا we're gonna achieve nothing as long as president is depending on people like Nasir County and expecting to bring good things. حاجات ما بودنا زي هتا. المهم شكرا لكم أنا بجيب أنا.
Okay, shukran, Bagat. Yeah, before we move to the next speaker, let me break the room and to play this the voice message from press conference today from Honorable Michael McCullough and also from Dr. Martin Elias Muro. So to break you guys, what are we discussing? So let me do this. Nyakol, can you mute yourself?
Vacancies, those who vacated, because the vacancies vacated belong to IO. And it is the interim body or the transitional body of the IO that will write to His Excellency the President that these people have already gone. We are requesting your offices, your good offices, to relieve them and appoint A, B, C, D in their places. It's not our work, it is not the work of, but we were requested to consider that because we cannot continue with these vacancies vacated. So it is the committee, the IO committee that will be writing to the President for the relief of those who have already defected or under arrest or on hiding. These are the people who will be relieved so that the others are appointed in their places. Riek Machar is the chairman of an organization called the SPLM-AIO. He is not the SPLM-AIO, but he is the chairman of that organization. And the fact that he is the chair of the organization doesn't mean that in his absence, the movement has collapsed or the institution has collapsed. The institution continues, and as such, his arrest or being outside the administration of the IO doesn't mean that the SPLM-AIO has gone. The SPLM-AIO, as you might have heard, and you will get it when you are given copies, the SPLM-AIO is now divided into 4 factions. 3 factions. One faction is the faction in conflict with the law, it is under arrest. The other faction is the faction that decided to defect out of fear. And this is another defection. The other faction is the faction that is on hiding here inside South Sudan. That is number 3. The 4th is this faction, which is now in the government. This faction now in the government is saying, we are continuing with the implementation of the agreement. They are not saying we are not implementing, but they are saying we want to make sure that the implementation of the agreement continues. And they are in the government. So, what is Riek Machar is a leader, yes, we recognize him, but the fact that he is in conflict with the law is a different thing. And the fact that he is Riek Machar as a person is different from the SPLM-AIO as an institution. So his arrest is being under house arrest and undergoing investigation at present does not affect the implementation of the agreement in any way. So the agreement will continue to be implemented, and what you have in mind is that this will definitely Riek Machar as a leading one of the most important signatories to the agreement, then the agreement must collapse. The agreement will not collapse. It will continue, and we will continue to implement the agreement, and this is why we are talking of elections in 2026. That is one. As for his position, of course, will be vacated when necessity requires. As soon as the investigation continues, if the investigation committee finds that there is a prima facie case against Riek Machar, then they will recommend his being prosecuted before the court. Once he is recommended, found to be proved to be in conflict with the law, and they recommend his trial, then he cannot be tried with his position as the first vice president. he will have to be relieved from his position so that he faces the law. Who will do that? It is the investigation committee. The investigation committee will investigate into the case, and once the investigation is completed and they have found that there is sufficient evidence to warrant his trial, then definitely they will write to His Excellency the President to request him to relieve the first Vice President, Dr. Riek Machar, from his position as the first Vice President of the Republic so that his state goes to the court. This is the situation. So it will not just be, because even in the investigation, if the investigation finds that there is no case against him, they will quash the case and discharge him. If they find that there is no case against Riek Machar, the investigation committee has the competence to discharge him. So this is the situation. He will not be taken to the court by Gumash Vito. Lazim Gumash de Galawet Kubada Remshi Muatin. That is the situation. And this is the time when his position will be vacated. And if that position is vacated, then the SPLM AIO, interim administration, will now recommend. The president will now call the interim administration of the IO and ask them to make a recommendation to fill this vacancy. And it is they who will make the necessary recommendation to the president. We are not against dialogue. This should be number one, should be understood that we are not against dialogue. And all that SPLM-AIO under the command of Riek Machar had been doing all this time, we had been dialoguing with them all these years. Despite all the atrocities that they have been committing all these years, we had been dialoguing, but this dialogue has made them to misunderstand us, because every time they kill people, we dialogue, and then we come and agree again, ignoring the lives which are lost. This time, we have decided the other way around. We have decided not to dialogue because dialogue proved to be insufficient. So we have decided to consult the law. We have decided to try law, because they say if education cannot help, try ignorance. Is it? Okay, we will try. If dialogue cannot help, we will try the law. This is why we are subjecting these people to the law. Because we have dialogue for long, and dialogue did not had not been fruitful. And if it had not been fruitful, then why should we continue with it? We are trying law this time, and then we will see how far will it succeed. So that is why we are applying the law. In the course of application of the law, those who are in conflict with the law will address their conflict with the law in the courts. But those who are not in conflict with the law will continue to dialogue with us. So we are not rejecting the dialogue. Those who are in conflict with the law, those who are under arrest, will continue under investigation and whatever. And those who are not in conflict with the law will continue to dialogue with them, because necessity requires us to dialogue. So we'll continue to dialogue with them. We'll continue to dialogue with the new administration. So we have not stopped dialogue. We have never rejected it, and we will not stop it.
Okay, one more.
As for the vacancies,
one more audio so that, and then I can give my back to you guys to continue discussion.
Significant, the Nuer ethnic group, one of the largest in South Sudan, played a significant and crucial role in the liberation of the country. This community occupies counties divided into 4 sub-sections. The Jikun are in Nasir, Ulang, Mayendit, Machuk, or is Upper Nile, Lone Ware in Akobo, Nirol, Uror, in Nile State, Pagak Nuer in Lik in Pagak, Gower in Ayot in Nile State, Ventu Nuer in Bull, Mayom, the King in Wit, Tok in Lair, Young in Payijar, Hok in Mayandit, Yakai in Quach, and Lik in Rukona counties. Out of these counties, 9 of them are considered hostile to the government, primarily aligned with the SPLMIO. These include Nasir, Ulan, Akobo, Yorol, Uror, Angak, Ayut, and Rukona. Leaders from these areas hold influential political and military positions and maintain deep ties with this community leadership, including youth, women, and spiritual leaders. The 7 remaining counties are deemed to be friendly to the government, including Mayandi, Maywood, and Olochuk, as well as Gwik, Lair, Manijar, Mayandit, Koch, and Mayam counties.
Okay, so that you have it. So those are the press release from 2 government spoke person and Ministry of Affairs, Dr. Martin William. This today press conference. So I will hear my point back to you guys in Clubhouse. So who is next to speak?
Take with me.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Who is that? There's attack?
Yeah, there's attack. Yeah, go ahead.
Attack just only 1 second.
And those of you who in Clubhouse,
I agree with you, yes.
And those of you in Facebook Live, you can join us in Clubhouse. So
I agree with you. In regard to
this live show,
I totally agree with you also.
And before I close down, this is another breaking news. Another breaking news that are going on as we speak. So we let me see here. There is the SSPDF in Warabi State has officially resigned and closed down their office. Let me play the video here very quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about, and then I will close down the studio. So bear with me, and then you guys can go to Clubhouse or to continue with the Republic of South Sudan, Warab State, Kwajok. Sudan People Liberation Movement in opposition, SPLMIO Party, Chairperson Office, date 26 April 2025. Subject: denouncement of SPLMIO Party and closure down of SPLMIO Office in Warab State. This letter is to notify the public that the SPLMIO Warab State, under Chairperson Comrade Radon Kwendeng Mayar, the Speaker of Warab State Transitional Legislative Assembly, and the entire membership have officially denounced and declared a total closure of SPLMI office with effect from today, 26 April 2025. These decisions come as a result of the following reason. 1. Power struggle within SPLMIO has created divisions, hatred, and made the party to lose its direction. Example, the image of the new leadership under Honorable Ambassador Stephen Parkwall and other groups which are operating in parallel. Number 2, the SPLMIO party top leadership have abandoned the entire membership of the party and resort to operate online while on exile for reasons best known to them. 3, the current SPLMIO self-claimed interim leadership has no capacity to continue leading the party to peace transitions, given the fact that Ambassador Stephen Parkwall does not have any trust and political ground within the SPLMIO, even in his hometown, Panga. And as such, it cannot represent us. However, this serves to inform the general public that the entire membership, which is 2,338 members of the SPLMIO Warab State, have decided to officially declare total closure of SPLMI office from state, county, Payam, and Buma secretariat with immediately effect. Therefore, this is our final decision as per now, and declarations of allegiance will follow as soon as possible. Regards by Right Honorable Pendeng Mayar, Speaker of Warab State Constitutional Legislative Assembly, and SPLMIO former chairperson. CC all security organ, CC all media house, CC file. There you have it, guys. So thank you for watching the show. You guys can join us in Clubhouse for more discussion and debate. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. And have a good day where you are. Peace out. Bye for now.